GitHub account, and I wanted to back up my entire GitHub account. So basically, in case I ever lose this account, I can back it up quite quickly. So what I did was I created this GitHub backup agent. This GitHub backup agent is basically software. It runs via a Linux service in my machine, in my local machine, which basically runs this service. It runs this Go service weekly at Wednesdays at 4:24. And in case my machine is off, it persists and runs it on the next boot. For this, I use SSH multiplexing. Basically, I'm cloning multiple repos. To be exact, 5 repos. I have a worker pool of 5 workers, which parallelly clone and archive these repos, and then individually push them to a remote repository. This is a remote repository. It basically has a archived tarball of all the repositories that are there on that account. Since I have multiple accounts, I use SSH multiplexing, which is a tidy bit faster than normal HTTP as well, and it uses authentication, so I can not only clone my normal repositories, I can also clone my uh, organization repositories as well. It's not a big change, but it helps. This is the service I use Golang for it, since it's parallel centric. How exactly does it implement that? It basically clones that repo. It stores that repo name locally in this file. So I have a local copy as well of the entire thing. Also, it stores the repository name and maps it to the hash of that repo. So in case the hash of the latest commit of that individual repo, in case on the next run there has been no change in that repository, there is no point in backing it up since our machine and that remote repository already has it. It checks that hash parallelly, and if there is no changes, it does not back it. If there is a change, it removes the older one and then backs it up again. This is the entire code base of it. It also stores the metrics. The repository and all those details are stored locally in my machine, since there is no need to share it with anyone. So it's local first. The metrics are stored in a local Postgres database, since I wanted to show it in this backend. So let me run it as well. Basically, this is the shows the proper logs as well. This is the front end of it, where I basically show all the details for the app. This was the latest run. Before this, I ran it 4 times just for the test. I ran it recently, 5-10 minutes ago. Actually, when I refresh it, it will show the latest run as well. It stays running. Ideally, what it should do is, since there has been only one change, it will back up one repo and skip all 161 rest of it. This basically shows the data of the runs, so it helps in visualization. So largest archive was this, and the total size of the archive is this. Uh, it also shows all the metrics. So like let's say there I go, and it shows which exactly repo was that mark and the archive size as well as the latest commit in that repo. This It also shows the statistics of the remote repository that I've stored. It basically shows all this, how many commits are there, what exactly was the file, the largest blob size, the archive size, and etc. This shows the live log of the. It basically creates a WebSocket connection. If I'll go here, I'll see that. Yeah, it will establish a WebSocket connection, and it will use that to display data. This is the WebSocket connection. It's the HTTP connection which is being upgraded to a WebSocket. I also made an agent. This is, by the way, this is how the first run looked like. Basically, it had to back up 160. The UI was different at that time. It had to back up 160 repos, so it was different. It had different logs. It checked every single one of them. And if we check as of now, it basically skips almost all the repositories since they are already backed up, and just backs up this singular one which has new pushes to it. I also created an agent for this. It's basically an LLM. I am using LangChain. I'm binding that LLM with several tools that are used in my repository. It's fetching data, and it's showing me, it's answering me using that data. Basically, for example, I asked it this question: how exactly, what does it mean that less and less repos are being backed up? So it answers me properly based on that there are total 481 repositories. I've ran this 5 times, so it's answering based on that. 481 repositories were skipped. 162 individual repositories, distinct repositories were actually backed up. It says that. What it actually means is that it's a high efficient behavior, where basically, as I said, it's skipping all the same repositories that are not new, and it's answering based on that. I actually, as a fact, I have a tool which is inspired from human in the loop middleware of LangChain. I've implemented all this myself, where basically I can generate an email. It generates an email and sends me those details. To generate an email, it actually the prompt is generate a full backup health report and email it to me. It uses the dashboard statistics to create an email. Then it creates to fetch data. It then creates an email, and then it uses this human in loop middleware kind of thing that I implemented from scratch, and then I can send this email, and and the report is being mailed to me. Basically, if we check this, so yeah, this is the detail I have. Uh, it shows me all the latest details of my repository. Also, uh, if I go into my code base and just have a look of how exactly I implemented it, I've documented it and written comments quite professionally and properly. This is exactly the part, the confirm event, where basically it basically checks the loop. If the tool name is sent report email, what it does is it checks if it basically confirms from me one more time that I'm allowed to send the email. Since I wanted to, I have to make sure that, are you sure that you want that email? It checks that and only then sends me those details. The That's it, and thank you.